This is holiday time. It's an extremely special time for me because I get to reflect on my greatest blessing. So many amazing people are in my life who care deeply about me. People ask, how do you have such deep relationships with people? It's simple. I have one rule. Give everyone second choices. You see, what you see on the surface is often not the reality. And I want to give you an example today of Jeffrey Paez. Jeffrey Paez is a young fellow. When I came to know him, he was innovative, entrepreneurial, kind, just a natural born leader. Once I got to know him a little bit, one day he shocked me. He said, "Mr. Jack, I want you to know I could be going to jail." So I spoke with his attorney to find out what the story was. He said Jeffrey had a court date and he didn't have a character witness. I was the only person who spoke on his behalf. The judge gave him 2 years because on the surface, his story looked like Jeffrey was a menace to society. He had had 2 fights in which in one, he had knocked somebody's eyeballs out. In the other, he had broken somebody's jaw. The backstory told an entirely different reality. When Jeffrey was 12, he was left alone on the streets of Brooklyn, New York. He saw 2 of his friends shot to death on the street corner where they bled in front of him. 2 people at different times came to beat him up. He was afraid he was going to die, so he fought like crazy. Many years later, those 2 fights caught up with him and he was sentenced to jail. You see, reality is often very different than what's visible on the surface. Today, Jeffrey is out. He's got a good job, and I am confident that Jeffrey will be a role model in society. He will speak and become an inspirational speaker to inspire young people like him not to follow the path that he was forced to follow. Oh, this happens in affluent society as well. We judge children and parents both. We can say parents are successful, they're working hard, they're inspirational to people they work with. Reality can be that parents are distracted, they're stressed. They have no patience with children when they get home. And that many times they act out of anger on one hand and overcompensation on the other. Children the same way. They're afraid. They act out of fear or they act out of pride. You see, children can be seen as being like rockets, a lot of energy. You plant a rocket solidly on the ground and light it to fire, it will find its trajectory to the top. But you take a rocket and it's wobbly on the ground when you light it. There is no telling where that rocket will go, where it will fly, what its trajectory will be, and when it might simply blast out. Reality can often be very different than what's visible in front of us. If you want a life where you feel the kind of gratitude that I do for people investing in me, then learn to invest and give people second chances. When you do, you too will become the inner core, become a part of the inner circle of people's lives, and you too will have very meaningful, deeply connected, authentic relationships. As we start this holiday season, this is my appeal to you, my request to you, and my best wishes for a great holiday.